work anymore.
All right, we're going live. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Brony Debates Live. I hope you're all doing well out there. We got a pretty interesting topic tonight, once again suggested by Princess Heather Blossom, who's wondering, should we normalize swearing? And that's a pretty loaded one. I like these kinds of topics. So we'll get into it in just a second here. Heather, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty alright, I guess.
Nice. And DJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Very good. Alrighty then. So before we get into it, let's thank everybody who supports the channel financially. $10 and up tier. Heather, who's with us. Shady Oak, Sid McConroy, Autoknight, Emerald Spencer, Senko, DJ, who is also with us. Rein-Kun, Billy, Alden, EasyMode, Kanto, Mr. Sonic, Alicia, Calbeck, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willieson, Canis Gorilla, Vulpecula Enfield, The Raptors Talon, Jimmy D. Banthrall Jr., and Dark Malcontent. Check out all of their links in the description. It's in a link tree, and also in another link tree you can see how you can support the channel and what you get in return. Now then, Heather, what made you want to talk about this topic?
Because I think it's okay for children to say fuck.
Really? What makes you think that?
Because I think getting in trouble, because, like, I understand if it's insulting another person, like, hey, don't call your brother a bitch, bitch. But, like, I think it's ridiculous that it's, like, say you stub your toe and you just go, ah, fuck! Everyone should be understanding of that. It's a great way to relieve stress, and it's just words. You could say words have a lot of power, but getting out your aggression by saying, fuck, shit, ah, motherfuck, is way better than, like, fucking, if you, like, way better than if you, like, punched a hole in the wall. I'm just saying, I think it's a better way to assert aggression as opposed to doing something physical like that. Healthier, even.
Interesting. And DJ, do you have any thoughts on the topic?
I'm very conflicted on it because, like, at the end of the day, they are just words, but also, like, I don't know, it feels wrong to say that everyone should be using them.
You don't have to.
I'm not even saying that the have to. It's just, I don't know.
So
it feels weird.
So Jesus said that nothing that a man puts into his mouth can defile him, mostly in reference to food, only that which leaves his mouth. So,
like vomit?
No, not like vomit. That is a bodily function.
I think if you threw up on Jesus, he'd be a little bit affected by it.
I'm sure people did throw up on Jesus, but the point is that in profanity, like, the whole reason it's called profanity is because these are words that we have assigned to mean something vulgar, right? These are words that we make with our mouth that are meant to be vulgar or meant to be insulting or meant to have these meanings behind them. And generally, I think we should not be encouraging people to speak this way. So, longtime viewers of my channel may have noticed that I very rarely bring my own language above, like, a PG, right? But that's just me because I don't necessarily like profanity. I don't necessarily ask anybody else to be like me, because then other people will say, okay, so what am I allowed to say on this show? And I'll go, we don't play the censorship game here. So I sort of get caught in the middle with that, where I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell somebody else to do it. I don't encourage other people to use profanity or slurs or anything like that. But that in and of itself, the slurs, whether or not slurs are profanity, like people tell me when I call things retarded, and that's a slur, and I'll say, well, I feel like the slur is more in the intention, and I suppose it can be the same thing with profanity, because obviously the word bitch, for example, has a proper meaning to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So Heather,
I
what do you
would
think?
like
What do
to
you think of
say-
everything I've said?
You have your points, but I feel like yours is that like you would choose not to, but you're not affecting other people's right to choose, which is why we should normalize swearing because it's our part of our freedom of speech. We should be people should just be like unless the speech is being directed at you as an insult, it shouldn't be any of your business how other people speak or express themselves. You can always turn away, stop listening, put headphones on, scroll down, don't look like it's why it's the same thing like on fucking Twitter and other places like that people are so offended by everything where like here's a life hack that I'll teach you right now to just not have to deal with the things you don't like. Keep scrolling, block, unfollow, unsubscribe. It is so easy to stay away from things you don't like with minimal amount of effort. So if swearing bothers you so much, avoid people that swear, avoid shows that swear. It is so easy. And if you like swearing, say fuck. I think swearing is perfectly fine as long as you're not directed as an insult. Then that falls in the category of harassment. And harassment isn't okay. Like intent of the words. If you're just saying, "Ah, man, I've had a shitty day," I don't think people should act like that's a fucking weird thing to say. Like, yeah, I had a shitty day. And you also got to keep in mind that we have other words for these words. Shit is just another word for feces. Fuck is just another word for intercourse, fornication, sex. But we don't treat those words the same way we treat, like, fucking bitch or dick. Why is dick so weird? Some people, you know what's just a side note, a funny r/Reddit video I saw one time is that somebody who like was a medical professional was trying to describe a guy what was happening because he had like a urinary tract infection. He's like, you got this infection in your penis. He used the medical term for penis, and the guy didn't know what the fuck he just told him. He's like, what's a penis? What are you talking about? He had to use the curse word dick to get this guy to understand that he had an infection in his dick.
Okay,
Some people only know swears. It's funny in a way.
Yeah. Gosh darn, I thought I rambled. So here's something I'm going to add on to that is like, yeah, you're having a freedom of expression argument, which I totally agree with. I think the argument that I'm having is what should our standards as a society for ourselves be? And what I'm saying is I think everybody should hold themselves to a higher standard of learning how to talk without being vulgar, especially needlessly, or learning, and if it's a matter of you need stronger words to express yourself, for a stronger emotion or a stronger situation or something that needs more emphasis, there are still plenty of words. I mean, I don't know as much about other languages, but especially in the English language where we've got 30 words for everything. There are plenty of ways to work around it, right? Like, because I've done it in my videos too, because I don't like cussing. But there are certain words that I have that start with F and end in uck that I have absolutely no trouble saying, like fire truck, for example. And I've done that before, and I feel like that's better, not just because I'm maintaining the integrity of my own character by not stooping to that level, but also showing my creativity and how I can be self-conscious and work around situations like that where I need these expressions, but even in the moment I have self-control.
I hear what you're saying, and I have to full-heartedly disagree. There's just no word has as much impact as the word fuck. Like, I can't scream the word fire truck and get as much aggressive energy out as I do when I just go fuck. You know what I'm saying? But saying like, man, I had a fire trucking poopy butt day does not impact as much as me saying, God damn, I had a fucking terrible day today. Can you believe this shit? I'm living this shit. This is a bitch of a situation. I got more energy out and more aggression off my chest saying that than I did saying all these ridiculous words that, like, honestly, you say it's like the language is limited, but God, do I sound even more ridiculous trying to substitute the cuss words for things that are, like, more inoffensive because I have a large vocabulary, Brony. I don't know if you realize this, but I did a lot of writing myself. I almost went for an English degree, but I'm smart enough to realize that there's no money in English. So, yeah, I have an extensive vocabulary. I love to read, but in all my years, nothing impacts you harder than when someone goes, "Oh, fuck."
Well, I've already stated my 2 cents on that, so we'd just be talking in circles with anything that I added to it. So, but DJ, what do you think about all the points that we've made so far?
Well, I get where the idea is coming from, but also I feel like if you did normalize it, it kind of ruins the point of them.
We would have to we would have to make up we would have to make up new words and new slurs and new profanity because you know, F-bombs have lost their meaning.
I would say I disagree because there's always going to be people like you. Like, you think you're such like an outcast and different from everyone else, Brony, but there's plenty of people like you who still don't like swearing and won't swear. And that's fine. People can not like to swear, can prefer not to swear. I just think that the people who do want to swear and it, like, you know, helps them relieve some stress, it should be normal for them to swear. I also think, like, kids shouldn't get in trouble for swearing when they're angry. Like, if you insult someone, no, yeah, totally be like, hey, don't call your brother a bitch. But, like, if you say, God, fuck, I hit my toe, don't freaking chastise the kid for swearing. Just be like, look, buddy, I get it. You hit your toe, and you're getting the pain out vocally, as opposed to, like, a kid bumps his toe and then punches a wall. I don't know. I've seen people express their feelings in very destructive ways, and I feel like my nephew, for one of my nephews had a problem when he was younger, and I don't know if he still does it, that when he was upset or having a tantrum, what he'd do is start smacking his own head against the wall and on the floor. Like, we got legit worried about this child because he was doing that. You know what I would have preferred if this kid during his tantrum like swore or did something else like less self-destructive than like get out his aggression that way. I think it's a good alternative to like just swear it out for a good few minutes to get yourself less angry than to like physically take it out on something that could harm you, your body, your property, or other people.
Interesting. DJ, would you like to add on to that?
I suppose there's some sense to that. I can see where I think the punishment for profanity is often over exaggerated, when at the end of the day it is still just a word, but I'm not sure that it means we need to normalize it. We need to not punish it. And I think that's
it's a part of normalizing it, because that would just be like, yeah, swearing is a way that people express their aggression in a non-destructive way. That's kind of making it more normal, at least in that sense.
So I'm trying to... I guess it's gonna like come down to personal preferences here, right? But
yeah, like, I don't want to disrespect everyone. I'm not gonna go in your house and you be like, oh dear, and be like, no, you say oh shit right now. You start cussing right now, you son of a bitch. I'm not gonna do that, because again, this is a debate somewhat about freedom of speech. And I also hate how in a professional setting, like, I get that we have to be polite. And I'm not saying I should, like, just have the right to call clients fucking dumbass morons, even though I totally should, because they are stupid. But I hate that people can get so uppity about swearing. Like, oh, it's such a low-class, down-low thing to do. When, like, you know the same people that do that, when they're at their wit's end and they're pissed as hell, they're going, son of a bitch! That's what they're doing. I know people like you, Brony. I know people that like you who hate swearing, don't like to swear, but when they're at their wit's end or they're angry as shit, they start cussing. At the end of the day, I think most people resort to cussing. Which
I should fully admit has been happening with increasing frequency in recent months.
Well, there you go, right there. I'm just saying we should all admit that we swear. We all do it. Stop treating it like it's a low-class, low-down thing to do when you turn to the same thing to express yourself in a non-destructive manner. Okay, just admit it. We curse in the car when we're pissed as shit. We cuss at our computers when we're dealing with emails that we hate. We cuss when we stub our toes. It's a normal thing that we all do. Stop shaming it. Stop acting like it's above you or beneath you or whatever. You all cuss. You've all swore at some point in your life.
So the next question I'd have for you then, Heather, is should this just apply to society, or should we pull this over into things like entertainment media as well? Or
I feel like we have. So many shows I watch now have, like, of course, unless they're garnered to be, like, at kids, like, shows swear all the time. Like, all the time. Like, the only things they dare to, like, censor even are just like fuck and like, you know, a few like if someone says a slur, I think.
Okay, so
otherwise they just let them say stuff.
Okay, so if there's not that much of a problem with using these words, then why wouldn't we use them in kid shows? If we need that kind of if we need that kind of expression, how about Friendship is Magic, for example, the last roundup, right? And they're all gathered up in the barn, waiting for that N at the end of that word is very important, especially for the context here. The whole town's gathered up in the barn, waiting for Applejack to return, and you know no, that wasn't the last roundup. But the point is, Applejack does eventually return to the barn, and everybody yells, you know, welcome back or happy birthday or whatever, right? And Pinky misses the mark and goes, shoot, right? Everybody over the age of 16 thought she was going to cuss. But she didn't. So what is stopping her from saying something a little more severe right there? And at what age do we draw the line as a society of, hey, these words are not appropriate for kids?
You probably shouldn't teach a kid the word fuck until they know what fuck, sex, and all those other words mean. I think kids should be allowed to say crap and shit, maybe bitch. You have to know what the words mean before they can use them. So that means only, like, you'd have to wait till you're a teenager to say fuck.
And why a teenager?
Because they know what fuck means.
Right, but how do they know unless they hear it elsewhere before they're
they learn it from your parents. The same way you eventually learn what sex is. Like I'm saying, smaller kids can say shit and crap and stuff like that because they know shit, crap, and all that means poop. And teenagers be able to say fuck because they know what sex is. That's what fuck means. Fuck means to fuck. It's the verbiage of fucking. It's sex. Since teenagers would know what sex is, they can say fuck. And I think as it goes for shows and kids content, you gotta make it match the character. Like, different people use different swears. Like, I use fuck a lot, and sometimes as an expression, I just go, bitch. Oh, different people use different words. I couldn't see Rarity saying fuck, unless in a real dire situation. But I said, I feel like she'd be like a sassy cursor, where she's like, I wish a bitch would try, or something like that. Applejack totally says fuck. So does Rainbow Dash. And Rainbow Dash gets edgy about it. And I think Twilight, this is turning into like, what curse words do I think the main six would use? Pinkie Pie?
And I disagree on some of these points. We got people in the comments saying...
what do you think Pinkie Pie would say?
Michael Collins says, I never thought Pinkie had the maturity to swear.
I think Pinkie would use fake swears. Like, frosting.
Like they all
She definitely did in the show.
Yeah, but she would do it purposefully. She knows what the words mean, but she purposefully uses silly ones.
That does seem in character for her.
Alrighty then. So, but that just plays into the point that I was making about decent society. Because if kids shouldn't be using these words, then we shouldn't be talking this way in front of kids. Because that's when they learn.
If the kids know what they mean, then why shouldn't they be allowed to say them?
because we're trying to prevent other kids from learning too soon, which, as we've discussed many times, will cause other problems.
But, like, they know what poop is. All babies know, like, all kids know what poop is, so why shouldn't they, like, they already know what shit and crap means, so why shouldn't children be allowed to say shit and crap?
Well, why do you need the strong words when why do you need the cussing when we already have better words?
I already told you, Brony, it's because these words just have more emphasis on it. Like, saying I had a poopy day is not equivalent to me saying, man, I had a shitty day.
So,
and why not just
why not just say you had a bad day?
That is not enough emphasis, Brony.
Or you had a trying day, or you know.
They're not hard enough, Brony. They're not intense enough. When I'm pissed as shit, look, I just did it right now.
Then like use the emphasis in your voice and your body language to emphasize.
Brony, no, listen to me do it. It's like, look, here's me saying, I'm pissed as shit. Here's me saying, I'm angry as, as heck. No, that just it doesn't hit as hard.
Heather, how do you think
the same inflection?
Heather, how do you think we've got all of these southernisms as a culture? It's
I'm not southern though.
Not the point. Okay, the point is the southern people who were trying typically to be more polite came up with these incredibly creative, incredibly funny mannerisms. I'm angrier than a hog in a tornado or something like that. We've heard Applejack say them a couple of times, in order to express how they're feeling about something, and it works just as well without sullying
I would
yourself.
Say not every geographic, maybe if I was born Southern, Brony, I'd have all these things. Like I'd say, man, this
and
guy,
I think
this
that
job
is
buttering my
I think that is a admirable cultural quality that other cultures if they lack it should be emulating.
Honey, that's cultural appropriation, and I just don't want to take part in such a freaking privileged white kind of practice.
Oh, we don't play the cultural appropriation game on this freaking channel, Heather.
I'm just saying, we're not all from fucking Tennessee, and we don't all think of like, this guy's buttering my biscuits. Like when we want to say, man, this job's really fucking me over. I'm not gonna say, God, this job's buttering my biscuits. That's just fucking.
If you want to talk about being offensive, Heather, let's talk about how you just said Tennessee with a West Virginia accent.
Oh, like they all freaking melts together. I'm sorry if you're from the South and I don't know all your distinct accents, but they're all dumb.
You see, that's more cultural appropriation than what I was suggesting. I was suggesting taking the good parts of your own culture and incorporating them into yourself.
What am I gonna say as someone from California, Arizona, and Florida? Like, oh my God, this job just fingered me in my vajayhole. Is that what I'm gonna say? We don't have all these southern use, but so great. The South can be the place you go to if you don't want to ever hear swearing, but you know they fucking swear too, and they say racial slurs too.
How about like, okay, so for example, you want to make an inappropriate comment about a woman that you find attractive. So instead of and I'm not gonna go there and demonstrate, but you could say, "Dang, she's as hot as the desert sand," right? You know, because you're out in the desert, being from California, or you can adjust.
Wild.
I'm improvising, which I've never been good at. So I'm sure if I actually sat down and wrote it, I could be creepy without being vulgar.
I get what you're saying, but again, you're not good at improv, and so are a lot of people. So in the heat of the moment, or whatever, they're gonna say, man, she's hot as fuck, instead of saying, she is as hot as a freaking lemonade left out on the lawn in the middle of summer.
Right, so then it's my responsibility to control my own actions, or practice until I am quick-witted enough to come up with something that does the job on the fly, without
You know what,
degrading
Brony?
myself.
If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to do that as much as you want. Some of us just want to say fuck. And there's nothing wrong with saying
and I
fuck.
will, but I'm
There's nothing
saying
wrong with
it is better to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Obviously, you can do whatever the heck you want because you're having the freedom of expression argument. That's not what I'm having. I'm having the hold yourself to a higher standard and improve it in small ways throughout. If you improve yourself in small, I'm not. If you can have self-control and improve yourself in small ways throughout the course of the day, then it will be easier to make larger improvements throughout the rest
Ronnie,
of your
life. You're missing
life.
the whole point. Like, you shouldn't look at swearing. Like I just said, it's not a bad thing. So why improve on something? Like, you want to go by that whole phrasing of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Like, what's wrong with saying, man, what a fucking day, instead of, man, what a freaking smashing day, okay? Like, that's the whole thing. You see it as this thing that's to be fixed when it's not a fucking problem. You're looking at it like it's a problem, and it's not a problem.
DJ, I haven't heard from you in a while. Back me up here. Do you think it's a problem? DJ's like, Mom, Dad, please stop fighting.
I'm just saying, you're treating it like it's this big character flaw. Like, it's like, you should,
it certainly can be, Heather, and you and I both know people who have that problem.
Ooh.
We got friends.
I'm kind of just listening to the bickering.
We got friends and family that cuss too much, and you know it.
I can't think of who off the top of my head.
Because you don't know it because you kind of cuss too much.
Oh, so it's a problem with me. It's a problem with me now. You want to change me?
I want you to improve. I want you to want to improve.
There's nothing to improve here. I can improve my health, Brony. I've worked on that.
Yeah, except that I can't take you around my young nephews because you're dropping F-bombs and my sister is giving you these cross looks at the dinner table.
Oh, come the hell on. See, this is why we need to normalize it, Brony. This is why it should be normalized. It's normal to swear. Normal to swear. I shouldn't be, like, looked at or judged or, like, freaking stop being so snooty. Stop acting like it's such a big deal. It's not.
DJ, back me up here.
No, DJ, back me up. Back me up. It's not a big deal. We all do it. We should all just admit it to ourselves and, stop acting like it's this big freaking deal. Like it's something that makes us lesser than others.
You can do it in your own privacy or maybe, like, around your very close friends or your family, or not even family, I just admitted earlier. Hold on, let me finish the frickin' sentence, Heather, okay? Because I did admit earlier that lately I've been having trouble controlling my own anger, and I've been cussing a little bit more around you. I don't do it around people. I'm trying to be polite in company. All right? So that...
I think that came out as nice as you thought it did. So I don't do it around people, just around you.
Yeah, way to go. Way to go. I'm less than everyone else, so you don't care how you come off to me.
Oh, you know what the frick I meant. Don't even...
Wouldn't it have felt good to say, you know what the fuck I'm talking about? Wouldn't that have felt better?
No, it would not have felt better. I would have felt dirty, and the children in my chat here would have learned a bad word, and I'm not going to be responsible for the degradation of the younger generation. I am totally BSing right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, keep the domestic abuse hotline on standby.
Yeah, it's fine. See, I'm not abusing him. That's the thing. I'm cursing at him and I'm not hitting him. See, you can't arrest me for that. That's also a way to avoid crime. That's a way to avoid jail time. You can't just freaking arrest me for saying you're a fucking idiot and then walking away. It's like, she called me a fucking idiot. The cop would be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Alrighty then. So we keep asking DJ for his opinion, and then we keep talking over him before he actually says anything. Give us some thoughts here.
I think I got to stand by where I said I think it's punished too much, but I'm not exactly sure it should be treated as common. Because it comes off as needless a lot of times. I know Heather mentioned before a lot of TV shows use it nowadays, but like a lot of those TV shows that are constantly dropping those swears come off far more childish than they do adults. And I think that tells you something.
Certainly, a lot of kids like them. Like, how many
that
kids
is a
watch
good
Rick and
point.
Morty?
That is a good point, and I'll add on to that because I found profanity hilarious when I was 14. And so did all the other 14-year-olds, and everybody who still finds it hilarious never matured past 14 and barely functions as an adult.
You know, I would like to turn this into... It's funny how mature humor consists of curse words and stuff, but by the time you're old enough to act, to like, you know, when you're like supposedly the age where you can enjoy that stuff, it's considered immature. Should we not then let the teenagers and people watch their cursey shows because it's what they find funny and not what actual mature audiences find funny?
I think you got to stop advertising them as adult shows then.
You have to, because people are like, why would you...
A second here.
I'm gonna open my soda. Brony, why did you not bring me a cozy?
I was in a rush.
Now my hands are cold. I'm just saying, I think I have some pretty good points.
You do. I just disagree.
You
Alrighty
can disagree all you want to.
Right. So, chat, let us know when we're back online. I think we're back online.
Are we off air?
We were for a second. Our signal strength is really bad.
Hey, I suppose it always has to be situational.
So DJ, in your ideal world, how would things go? In terms of profanity in everyday life and on your television.
On the television, used sparingly.
Okay,
I do agree with Heather that
sparingly.
there's some cases where he's like, you know what, you need that extra emphasis. You add on the flavor word. It makes it all that much more impactful. But like, the reason it's impactful is because it's used very well. But like, if you're gonna use it all the time, like, what's the point?
Oh, so I see you have the SpongeBob SquarePants method with it. They're sentence enhancers.
Yes. Are they wrong,
I
though?
can see I can see what you're saying, but then people got mad at them for doing that. I'm like, nah, let them say, hey, SpongeBob, how the are ya?
You trying to do a freaking dolphin sound. DJ, get your
How the
soundboard.
frick the dolphins? Get the dolphins.
I don't have it running.
You don't have it running. The one time I need you to have your soundboard and you don't have it running.
Well, it glitched out when I upgraded my computer. I haven't been able to work.
All right.
And you disabled the option to use the built-in Discord.
Yes, I
soundboard,
did because StarChaser was abusing it whenever we were trying to stream. It was between him and I think there were a couple other people in my server that just wouldn't frickin' stop with it on stream. Come on, guys. Usually when I say, hey, can you not do that, it's annoying. It doesn't mean keep frickin' doing it. So, yeah, fix your soundboard for the next once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I tell you to actually frickin' use it. You have disgraced yourself. How dare you? You're better than this.
Well, Brony, I gotta keep you on your toes. If I didn't, I'd be constantly spamming Piranha Plant you like you tried to insinuate earlier today.
Oh, did you show a Piranha Plant?
I showed him the Piranha Plant Switch deck.
Yeah, and he said he wanted to kill me.
I did not say I wanted to kill you. I said for some reason I have an urge to beat you up after seeing this.
What's the difference?
Beating you up is not necessarily killing you, DJ. Hey, by the way, I can't believe I didn't say this now, but I should reiterate, even though I've said it in the past, thank God we're not monetized. Thank God I don't give a frick.
I should be sponsored by Gamer Subs.
I mean, it would fit your brand.
Hell yeah! What should I name my flavor? Vajuji juice?
Pizza.
That's kind of basic.
Yeah, but there isn't a pizza flavor.
What about super spaghetti slime?
Shades of Hell.
You might be on you might be onto something there. I'm gonna have to call the cable
Gamer
company after
subs!
we're done streaming here and ask them what the heck is going on with my connection today, because it's been up and down for the last 10 minutes. Well, we have gotten way the heck off topic here. So let's see. I guess we'll get into audience participation. So remember, kids in the audience, if you want to join the stream and tell us what you think about the topic, there is a link in the description. It's at the very top. It's a Discord server. It's open. You can just join. And once you're in there, throw up a hand emoji, a raise hand emoji, and tell us what you want to say. If I find it interesting, I will give you permission to come into the call, and you can say what you want to say. Just make sure you have a good microphone and internet connection. Hopefully, especially better than... Yeah, that's hopefully better than mine has been tonight. So, we did have some interesting comments throughout the course of the stream. Hopefully these two have seen some as well. Nathan Duazo at the very beginning said, Brony, I wanted to discuss about swearing. I hate swearing. I kept telling my parents to watch their language, but I started doing it too when I was watching Gordon Ramsay and Golden Fox. Well, gosh, well, here's the thing. Gordon Ramsay is Scottish.
To be fair, he gets creative too, like calling people an idiot sandwich and a effing donkey. Well,
the idiot
you know
sandwich was a skit, actually. I
was
don't know.
it not him? Was he playing himself?
Yes, he was, but it was a skit.
Well, still, it was funny.
It was funny, but yeah, Scottish people. I don't even know if they register profanity as profanity.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Gordon Ramsay real quick because I could have sworn he was something else.
Where in the heck? You know what? I wonder if I have Mad Munchkin as a contact.
My Google search keeps saying he's British.
Let's see here. Well, it's part of that, like, British, Scottish, like, it falls under that sort of umbrella. Irish, they're all, I think they're all technically within the UK, but also they're same thing, or separate things. I don't know if
I hope it's not this bad when I'm playing Pokemon, because it's gonna be a rough stream. I don't like
I mean,
that.
you're coming in pretty clear.
Yeah, it's just kind of brawny.
Which is weird, because it's not like I'm on Wi-Fi or anything. Alrighty then. Nathan Duazo says, Brony, I think I should bring the fan favorite Roxanne Wolf into your channel. I don't know who Roxanne Wolf is. Does anybody know who Roxanne Wolf is?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights.
She's one of them that the furries like.
Okay, so I immediately hate her then. Just absolutely irrational. We do not let furries on this channel. Dreamer Frost says, "Hey Brony."
Full of crap.
Hey Brony, how are you doing tonight? I am losing my mind more and more by the day, and I'll be dead soon. Don't worry about it. Gajillion. Yes,
especially the garlic knots.
It's from this pizza place that's like right around the corner from my house, but it is one of my favorite pizzas right now. I have nothing else to say. So that was all the
Making me freaking hungry is what it's doing. I haven't had any food.
Oh, you haven't had any food? Why haven't you had any food today?
I've been playing Pal World with my friend.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess that's one way to make sure you hit your caloric deficit. Gajillion